What's happening? How you been?
Man, I've been awesome.
Nice jacket.
Thanks, buddy.
Argos.
Yeah, love my Argos.
That's it.
Big
He
fan.
loves his Argos. And your Blue Jays.
And my Blue Jays. I'm not a Leafs fan. I'm
Do
a
you do
Rangers
the
fan.
FC?
Do I UFC?
Do you do the Toronto FC?
No, I'm...
Football club.
No, I had a nasty experience with a coach. Not that kind of nasty, just a bad times with a coach when I was a kid. And I had no interest in soccer after that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Nothing against it. If you love it, wicked. Yeah. If you get enjoyment out of it, fucking power to you.
But there's no reason to take it that serious, buddy.
Oh no, I was just like I was like made captain, and I was just shit on for like an entire season. Yeah. I'm pretty sure like
because you were going to go pro. You'd have been.
Oh yeah, I would have been
Baggio, Pele, all those guys.
All those guys, yeah. And no, that didn't happen. So. Here we are. What are we talking about today?
See that
buddy?
thing I got on the screen there?
Yeah, we're going to show, we'll put it up on the screen.
It is a history lesson for people who think that history doesn't matter. Welcome to Down in the Hole, by the way. My name's Blaine.
I'm Jono.
Yeah.
This is pretty interesting.
This is a very interesting thing.
What's the big deal about railroad tracks?
Yeah. You never thought this would be important. But there was a guy on Twitter that I pulled this from. And it was basically talking about how the ancient Romans... Oh, I just lost my Internet Explorer and everything just died. That was really neat.
Technology's just awesome.
That's so good. It's just some weird... This is an old computer. He's got to kind of reset stuff. But he was talking about...
This story blew my friggin' mind.
How ancient Rome actually affects space travel. Because, where's his Twitter post? Okay.
Yeah, so we don't need to read it word for word. We could just
we can kind of summarize what this is. So why are the U.S. standard railroad gauge, the distance between the rails is 4 feet and 8.5 inches.
4 feet, 8.5 inches. And that has been the same since...
2,000 years ago.
Yeah, and it'll likely never change.
Why was that gauge used? We're going to find out right now.
We're going to find out.
So this guy on Twitter, Bill Hallahan, I believe that's how you would say it. They built them in England. So originally, so why did the English build the rail? This is where it originated. This is where this number came from.
Yeah.
So why did they use it in the States? Well, they use it in the States because it's how it was in England. So why did the English build them like that? Because the first railway lines were built by the same people who built the wagon tramways, and that's the gauge they use. So why did they use that gauge? It just keeps going back and back and back.
Yeah. It's fast. It's awesome stuff.
This is amazing. Because the people who built the tramways used the same jigs and tools that had been used for building wagons, which used the same wheel spacing. So everything just got set in stone.
Yeah.
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So they all kept using the same deal. Who built the rutted roads? Imperial Rome built the first long-distance roads in Europe, including England, for their legions. Those roads have been used ever since. So Imperial Roman Empire stuff.
So to summarize a bit here, railroad tracks are as wide
as the Roman chariots. And that's thousands of years ago. Roman war chariots formed the initial ruts, which everyone else had to match to run the risk of destroying their wagons. You had to fit in the lines, because why wouldn't you? It's there. Since the chariots were made for Imperial Rome, they were all alike in the matter of wheel spacing. Therefore, the United States standard railroad gauge is 4 feet, 8.5 inches, which is derived from the original specifications of an Imperial Roman war chariot.
Cool. That's so cool.
So the article is named why does a horse's ass control NASA? Because NASA, they can't, because the train tracks,
they're only so wide.
When they come over from England, they start building train tracks here. They use the same tools, everything else. So then now it's in America, and the whole country has to be universal.
Yeah.
So when they want to put a train track through a mountain, they only have to blow a hole wide enough to hold a train.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. So the chariots are just wide enough to accommodate the rear ends of 2 horses. So 2 horses' asses standing next to each other, pulling a war chariot. That's how wide they made it. So when you see a space shuttle sitting on the launch pad, there's 2 big booster rockets attached to the sides of the main fuel tank. These are solid rocket boosters, or SRBs, because we can't say the whole word. So the solid rocket boosters are made by Thiokol in the factory in Utah. The engineers who designed these rockets would have prepared them, make them a little bit fatter because they couldn't. They would have preferred them to make them a little bit fatter, but they could not because they had to be shipped by train from the factory to the launch site.
So they can only be 4 feet,
yeah,
8.5
because they
wide.
have to go through tunnels that are only slightly wider than the railroad track. So,
and
it's amazing how you're thinking thousands of years ago they made these chariots, and then it comes now to space travel, and they are only limited how big they can build those rockets. Because why is the tunnel so small? Well, because that's how wide the rails are. Why don't we just make the rails wider?
And that's why we're going to title this episode "The Importance of a Horse's Ass."
Yes, clickbait.
100%.
It's a cool story, and I'll obviously links and everything will be down in the bottom. But I read this on a website somewhere where they compiled this guy's
That's so cool.
whole Twitter post. The 2 horses pulling a chariot.
Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it time I don't know.
Pull out all the railways and make them wider?
Man, we're in 2022.
If anybody's we know who's going to do it. Elon Musk.
Probably. Man, we can't go 45 minutes north of town without running out of cell phone service. So I don't understand how technology is working in 2022.
No.
It's effed up.
I think I think it's great. I think this
awesome. Is fantastic.
And that's the funny thing too. Like if you need to ship your booster rockets from Utah to the launch pad, and they have to go through, this tunnel,
Yeah.
Well, why not just make the factory like right 3 blocks from Cape Canaveral? If they really wanted to make them bigger, they could make their own tracks 50 feet wide and have the biggest rocket on the planet and only have it be 10 miles away and put it in a straight line.
Well, you know why? You know why?
I don't know why, but you will tell me.
Because that would be the smart thing to do.
Yeah. Let's make a rocket and then have to drive it on a train halfway across the country. I don't know where it said in there where Utah was shipping them.
Probably
wasn't Cape Canaveral, but that's in Florida.
I just want to tell you, speaking of space,
he wants to tell you.
I saw Ryan's belt last night.
Cool. I've seen it before.
I give it 3 stars.
Wow. Wow. That's the end of the video. I'm not even going to. That's it. That's done. Right there. I fell for it, dude. I fell for it. That was a good one.
Good times, man. Good times.
When I wake up in the morning, I sit up in my bed, pat myself on my pretty little bald head, say I'm ready to fucking rumble. But first I head to the bathroom, blow up my fucking bunghole. I grab me that bottle of sarsaparilla, hit the fucking road. I'm ready to slay some.